Even before Trump's inauguration for his second term in office, China's President Xi Jinping held a direct conversation with the US President-elect. Their first such talk since 2021. That was during Trump's first term in office. The leaders discussed crucial issues including trade, the TikTok ban, the fentanyl crisis, and tensions over Taiwan. President Xi emphasized the importance of mutual respect and caution in handling sensitive issues like Taiwan. While Xi will not attend Trump's inauguration, China will be represented by the Vice President Han Zheng. Now, the move signals Beijing's efforts to maintain diplomatic engagement despite anticipated challenges under Trump's second term. During his first term, Trump had imposed tariffs on $350 billion worth of Chinese goods, sparking retaliation from Beijing. A 2020 trade deal set a $200 billion target for China to purchase US goods, but only 60% of that goal was met. Trump's Treasury Secretary-designate, Scott Bessent, raised this at his recent confirmation hearing. Trump has now promised even higher tariffs, while also considering delaying the Sunday deadline for the ban on TikTok app, pending its divestment from parent company ByteDance. China has criticized the potential ban as unfair and unjust. Beijing, however, remains wary of the economic and geopolitical impacts of another Trump presidency. While both sides are navigating a fraught relationship that carries extremely high global stakes. On the show with me now, joining live from Shanghai, is Sean Rain, founder and managing director of the China Market Research Group. Thanks so much for joining us on the show. Well, Sean, the world is looking on with bated breath, if I may add, at what Trump 2.0 will bring with it. As two of the world's largest economies, both China and the US pay keen attention to their relationship. And just on the heels of Trump's inauguration, how significant is this phone call, especially the timing of it?
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. It's important that the United States and China tries to get along a little bit better. And I think it's very clear that on the Chinese side, Xi Jinping and the CPC want to reset relations with the United States. The economy is weak. So the Chinese government said that the economy grew 5.4% in Q4 of 2024, but it seems a lot slower than that for people like me who are living on the ground in China. Retail sales only went up about 3%. So one of the reasons, and the major reason why the economy is so weak, is the movers, the shakers, the investors in China are scared about the geopolitical overhang. So they don't want to invest right now. They want to hold on to their dollars and save for a rainy day because they're worried that the United States is going to impoverish China the way the US has impoverished Iran, North Korea, and Cuba for generations. So I think Xi Jinping wanted to have this call. It was critical, as you said, to try to smooth over some of the tension in order to gain more confidence amongst the business community in China, because we need to get the economy going again. Otherwise, I don't think it's likely we're going to be able to get 5% growth in 2025. I'm thinking more like 4.2%.
Sean, Trump calls the phone call a very good one, says together Xi and him can solve many problems. He says that he got along well with President Xi, quite well, in fact, during his first term. And Xi Jinping congratulating Trump on his win in November echoes a similar messaging. However, the bones of contention here are the trade wars, which perhaps are speculated to continue, an indicative increase in tariffs by Trump, and of course, the ban on TikTok. Now, in the backdrop of all of this and the phone call, how do we read the US-China policy under Trump's second term? Also speak to us a little about TikTok, why it was banned and its probable future. Will this phone call have any bearing to its future in the US?
So Trump is a master negotiator, or at least he thinks he's a master negotiator. So he's going to use a mix of shock and awe strategy where he threatens and cajoles China, just like he's done with Denmark and Greenland and Canada and Panama and Mexico. So on the one hand, he's going to be friendly to Xi, which he was during his first administration, and say Xi is a great man, a great leader. He loves China. That's sort of that disassociation, try to get Xi's guards down. But then we all worry in China that he's going to slam China with 60% tariffs. China's trade surplus hit $1 trillion last year. So there are a lot of issues at play. There's also issues about national security, where the Americans are worried that the Chinese are starting to outperform and outcompete the United States in new energy vehicles. They're worried that China's outcompeting in solar panels and in all types of green energy. And so the big thing is that China is now outcompeting the United States in apps like TikTok, which unfortunately and shamefully is banned in India, is about to be banned tomorrow in the United States because the Congress banned it. That's going to hurt 7 million people in the United States who earn money off of TikTok. And so what you see right now is this is not a national security issue. This is an issue of protectionism. This is an issue of hysteria and fear-mongering about China's rise. And that comes a lot from the Republicans, but mostly from the Democrats, like Joe Biden, who's an ideologue and wants to oppress China. I think that Trump is going to try to get TikTok to continue to be able to run in the United States. The first reason is the young people in the young people in the United States love TikTok. Again, there's 7 million creators, there's 190 million users, and they're saying on TikTok, we want Trump to allow TikTok access to the United States. So I think that Trump is going to listen to his base. He's going to listen to the young people, and he's going to say, Biden and the Democrats wanted to ban TikTok. I don't want it. And that's going to help the Republicans in the midterm elections in 2 years and in the presidential election in 4 years. But the key is TikTok has no evidence at all. Again, no evidence at all of being a national security threat for the United States. Could it be? Yes. But we need to live in evidence and fact, not fear-mongering and hysteria, which America all too often succumbs to. So we need to allow TikTok to be allowed. I think Trump is going to allow it. He's going to use it as an olive branch. And again, sort of that disassociation of pressure with Xi and China. He'll then slam tariffs the next day or a week later and say, well, look, I'm being fair. I'm letting TikTok back into the United States. But I also think we need to close this trade deficit. We need the Chinese to buy more American beef. We need them to buy more soybeans. We need to buy them more lobsters from Maine. So I'm hopeful that their TikTok is going to be allowed. And I think India should allow it too for the same reasons, because it's just protectionism and fear-mongering, and that doesn't help anyone. That hurts the consumers in India, hurts the consumers in America, and it hurts the profits of all these companies.
Sean, thank you so much for your analysis. Unfortunately, due to the paucity of time, we will have to pick it up another day. Thanks so much for joining us on the broadcast.
Thank you for having me. One last thing, my book, The Split, just came out in India a couple weeks ago. So I hope readers will read the book. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.